SAFTA award-winning actress Antoinette Louw has rarely spoken publicly about her depression. The condition has been part of her life since her youth and took a few years to diagnose.
I was a very difficult teenager, very moody. But it's the interesting thing is that both my parents are psychologists, but I grew up in a very, very happy home and very stable home. And then I moved to Joburg. I went to a film school there, and it was very tough for me. And I remember the day walking, and I crossed the main road in Melville, and a car came, and I thought, oh, please just run over me, I don't care. And that's when I realized I have a big problem.
Not only are women more prone to depression than men, but the causes of female depression and even the pattern of symptoms are often different.
When I'm feeling down, I don't have a lot of energy and I feel extremely demotivated. And when I feel demotivated to do anything, it's sort of like a downward spiral. Then I'm even more hard on myself because I'm not doing anything, I'm not being productive.
Cape Town-based psychologist Milan Murray has dealt with numerous patients suffering from depression. He explains the symptoms as well as how the condition is diagnosed.
In order to make a diagnosis of depression, the person needs to be depressed for 2 weeks most of the time. So what happens is that they would start avoiding pleasurable activities, things that they enjoyed before. There's also a loss of energy. There's a loss of concentration. Also, we see a dramatic change in the way they think. So they will have a sense of guilt, or they will feel worthless. And with that also then goes frequent thoughts of death and even of suicide ideation.
All depression types are not the same. Major depression, also known as clinical depression, and chronic depression, also known as dysthymia, are the most common types.
Dysthymia is a depression that usually originates already in childhood, from sometimes the age of 2 or 3, and relates to trauma that the child experienced at that stage. And the depressive symptoms is low grade over several years, whereas in major depression there's much more of a spike going down. So the person feels dramatically different to what they feel usually like.
Milan Murray has graced our screen since the late 90s. Happily married and a young mother, it was her husband who broke the silence in a bid to encourage her to seek professional help.
I was standing in the kitchen. It was actually my husband who said, we either take you to an institution or we just go and sit with someone and ask them to just give us some guidelines and see what this is. My husband is not an aggressive person, or not a pushy guy at all. And that's why when he was so adamant about that, I realized that it's a concern, because it started affecting him so much that he couldn't function normally. That's when I made the appointment, and it was actually the greatest relief. Sitting there and him ticking the boxes, and he just said, it's that. So now I've got the name and the pills.
Depression is often treated with medication, depending on the severity of the condition. However, a healthy lifestyle can also play a role in managing one's mood.
Things that I do to help me, other than the medication, definitely exercising. The body and the mind is so interconnected, and yoga helps me to free all that up. Eating right, because I can feel in my body and in my mind if I don't exercise and eat well. It has a huge effect on my emotions.
We moved down to the coast for a reason. It is a better lifestyle for me. I use the beach a lot, whether it is to run or to walk. My kids love the sea as well, so I get time to also enjoy it with them and allow the beach and the sea to be therapy as well.
Volunteer work and giving back also seem to help manage depression. And Milan has done a few long-distance trail runs for Children's Hospital charity.
It is very important for family members and friends, and also from a work environment, to understand that depression is a biological disorder. So when we see one of our family members or a friend suddenly changes mood dramatically, then we must know that there should be an intervention being made.
The first step in treating depression is often the most difficult, admitting that there is a problem. Once diagnosed and treated, one can have a happy, fulfilled life.
What has helped me and empowering me is not to shut down. And I know that's the easiest thing to do. I would beg people not to shut themselves down and get help, or even if it's just go out for coffee. But a friend or somebody is a phone call away.
It's not a death sentence. It's not a stamp that says you will be unhappy forever. I have very good times. I am loving life. So it's not something to fear or something to be depressed about. It's treatable.